But the question remains of, is it progression with United or is it delusion? And where do we currently stand? So I'll flip it over to you guys before I lose my head.
I was gonna say I love the title, Dylan. And what I will say is you guys did have a good run, right? 3 wins in a row, and then you draw 2, but 5 unbeaten, right? Given where you guys have been, that's huge. But the way I've kind of seen it is I think Mbumo's been fantastic. Cunha and C.O.C not as much, but I think overall, like that attack has been successful in spite of how they're set up, right? I know you guys are more on board with the Bruno and as an 8 thing. I'm not still. I just think it's not his fault they lost the game, but on the goal, right? Like I think the tackle he makes is not like a tackle you would want in a player that plays in the double pivot. It's not his best position. I think you unleash him as a creative monster, right? You don't try to have him play 1-2 with Casemiro. Like it's just, I don't love that. So I think the attack covers the holes. I think when they're firing, I think there's so much quality there. You can get away with the way you guys are set up. But I do think if you're making me pick one between the two here, between progression or delusion, I do think the sooner you get rid of this guy and you just got to rip the Band-Aid off, the better it's going to get. I just think you're handicapping yourself by saying there's only one way this is going to work. It's not Doctor Strange. You know what I mean? There's not only one way. And to your point, you're playing Everton, you're at home, 10 minutes into the game, Idrissa Gueye slaps his own teammate and gets sent off. Brilliant. Surely we don't have to put Mount at wing back. Like you can just kind of throw numbers. You don't have to do that, but I would lose my head if that's the situation. You're still not changing anything. It's like, are you trying to prove a point now, or are we trying to win games? Like, what are we doing? Is he trying to save his reputation as a coach? Like, this is how I play. Like, what are you doing? It is kind of crazy to me, and I am happy I called the KDH passion sesh. He's proper Chelsea. So I did let you know he'll cover ground, but the fact that he had that much space to operate, right? And if I'm not mistaken, because I wasn't able to watch the game, they did not try to attack the rest of the game, right?
No, that was their only shot.
Like immediately after they
right. It was like the 29th minute or something like that, and then it was just like, oh, we're done.
Or I guess like slightly after, but then they just have to hold on from that point, and they're a good defensive team.
Moyes'
so I
first
do think
win
a little bit is just unlucky.
Closing manager.
It's the beautiful game. This is what it's about. Sometimes it's a little ugly, but for Everton to go out there, score a wonder goal from KDH, and then lock up shop for the rest of the game, I think says a lot about their mentality and what they're bringing to the table. But to both your points, if you're up a man and you're running a 5-back, I think I'd get pretty upset too. I'm a big proponent of United need consistency in the way that they play, but there has to be a little bit of tactical flexibility. Part of me wants to say it might just be like the opposite of slot and saying like, oh shit, like what's going on? Should I change this? Like maybe I'll just stick with this and ride out the storm. It's the complete opposite. Instead of trying to put random parts into a missing screw hole, like he's just going with what he got, and he's running one empty screw hole up until he can fill it.
He kept talking about it
in
as
January.
soon as he came into the job, talking about we're going to suffer. You're still suffering where it's been a year. Like at what point do you go, okay, yeah, we can't do this anymore? So that's, and again, you were 90 minutes away from being in the top 4. I think we're having a very different conversation if that's the case, right? But unfortunately, like Dylan said, and I have experience with this, you knew the season would be up and down. It is so much easier said than done. It 100%. Is so much easier to just go, oh yeah, I know we're going to be inconsistent, because then you're seeing in real time, wait, just do this. What are we doing? We're not, it is beyond infuriating. But yeah, for me, I'm glad Facundo was in my ear to keep me grounded, remind me my stance. Don't get caught up in the results. We know where we stand on Mr. Amorim, and yeah, I do not think you guys will be successful with him.
For me, it's less of the games in which we know United are underdogs. And look, the stats don't lie. Like when United
Yeah.
don't hold possession, they look really good.
Saw that stat. I know
They look
exactly
really
what you're
good. And
talking
when they
about.
hold the possession, they look really bad. That's not by accident. And honestly, if I'm being completely honest with you, even if we were playing in a fucking 4-back, I don't think that changes. I don't think that changes at all. Like, let's look at the guys that are in these places. It's Ugarte, not a good ball passer, right? So that doesn't change anything. Casemiro is only good at really the long switches. He's not really good at the intricate tiki-taka stuff. Manu is not a great ball progressor in that way. He's a ball carrier. And Bruno's the same thing. So even if United were in a sense of like, hey, like, we're going to hold possession, they don't have the tools to do that. That's why Elliot Anderson is such a big talking point, because that's a guy that can do that for you. And that's honestly where I'm having the biggest like anger portion. And in matches like this, I'm more angry that United conceded a goal, right? Because they shouldn't have. Everton only did that one thing. And I'm more angry with that because I think that United should just fucking play to their strengths. Like the idea that United are trying to take the ball and trying to do that stuff, I get it. You're Man United. We are not Man United of old. Fucking give the other team the ball. I've seen Real Madrid do it for years. Give the other team the ball, play to your strengths, play out of possession, and beat teams going long. We cannot play through teams. I feel like
that's what they've been doing though, where it's just like, all right, we're just going to be a hoofball team. Like that's what we are now. But like you said, they don't have the tools to be able to defend. They're not good enough to defend for that long.
I don't think
make
that's
a good
the
point
case,
too.
though.
With your midfield personnel, regardless of what coach you have, you don't have profiles to keep the ball.
No.
Like the squad building, regardless of who's in charge, like you do not have the profiles to be able to hang on to the ball in possession.
I think that's why he plays this formation, though.
He has no choice.
Always play that formation.
That's why Bruno is playing so deep.
Yes, I understand that, but this is why it works. And we've been saying, like, if he gets the personnel in the midfield, it's gonna look different. Right now,
I think you need like two Caicedos to make it work.
Bruno is pulling shit out of his ass when he can and doing a job running up and down the pitch. And he's just the best player, so he can continue to do that stuff and play the 8 out of position. Yes, it's not his best position, but he still can do a job. But in terms, like we've been talking about this one missing position, they tried to go for it in the summer, and it got blocked by the Players Club.
I don't even think that would have done it, to be honest. You guys know how I feel about him, Baleba.
That's fine.
But this is hindsight. When we were talking about in the summer.
Oh no! I've been saying that he wasn't the one.
That's fine.
Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Elliot Anderson or Wharton, one of those profiles that can be able to play the ball as well. Be interested, but I still don't think it's
more legs and able to play the ball in that position helps.
I agree, and I think you guys have swung me a little bit more in the direction of they also have a horribly built squad. I forgot that
That's the main thing
it's
why
I
have reservations with shitting on Amorim is because like it takes time to build this squad.
Well, like Dylan mentioned,
loads of money to spend. They had to do a lot in the transfer market to get these players, and it takes time. And he doesn't even have the team that he wants yet.
Mentioned it was Xerxes too, and I'm a fan. I still think he is a good player. He is a good footballer, right? Like I think we can agree on that. But one manager signed him. I think that's very obvious. And then another manager immediately comes in, and as soon as he came in, we all knew that's not going to work. Tried him as a 10, that didn't work. He got hooked in the first half. I thought that was his last United game when that happened.
Yeah.
And I still think he's a good player. I think he'll do well at a lot of clubs, especially if he went back to Italy. But clearly not a fit in this system, and you have tons of players like that. Ugarte was bought by Ten Hag, and funny enough, he used to play with Amorim, but I do not think he's the same player anymore.
Nope.
Shout out PSG for coming in and taking that deal away from us. We almost bought him. I appreciate that a lot, PSG. But yeah, it's an island of misfit toys, which we always say with United, regardless of how the windows are talked about. It always ends up when we're not during transfer talk. It always goes back to United's squad doesn't make sense. We always kind of get back there. And I get it. I'm one that gets blown away by transfers. I'm guilty of it myself. But that is another thing that is true. But yeah, I understand the argument of who else is out there, but I just do not think it will. I don't think it can work with him in there. I think they're performing in spite of what he is doing. But you're also right. It's not a great
it's a mix of everything.
Like,
yes,
I'm confused.
Always
when
is with
people
United.
say this. Like, what is the solution?
Yeah, this is where I
But,
keep
like,
coming back to
They
as
need
well.
a 6 that can play the ball, and there's
That
unfortunately
has
not many
nothing
that
to
can
do with
play
the
the ball.
No.
coach, though.
What's the solution
I agree.
to the current United issue? What would
Like,
you
Right.
do
what?
if you were manager? Like if you were the manager, you're seeing this squad, what are you doing? What's the switch?
I were the manager. First off, let's just be clear. If I were the manager, I would be double agent. I'd sabotage. I'd find a way to cook books. I'd get them a points deduction. They're relegated. But for on a serious note, I feel like honestly, a lot of managers you go 4-2-3-1. That's what it looks like on paper, and then there's a million variations nowadays, right? But I think, like I said, most importantly, you need a 6 that can carry the ball and cover space. That is the most coveted profile in football. I think once everyone saw what Rodri was able to do, and obviously a Ballon d'Or on top of it, but everyone realized, oh, in today's game, that's the position you build around. You can do a lot when you have that. I think as soon as Chelsea got Caicedo up and
It's
running, that's when you get
Eh,
the beginning of the project, right? So you need to do
you're
that.
speaking yeah, you're speaking from a place of comfortability and luxury, though.
That's
These
right.
are the most sought
Every
after
good
players
teams
in
have
the
it.
world, and there's like three. There's three world class fucking sixes in the world right now, and you're talking like this, like they could just go pick one up off the side of the street.
I'll just throw out names and surely they can get one of them, right? Elliot Anderson, Wharton, Baleba, honestly,
All
Chouameni.
prospects,
I think they can get
and
anyone.
one
I
Who
guy
think we
that
can
Baleba?
get
hasn't
one.
proved it as a world class. I don't think
Oh,
he's
he's not
proved
world
it.
class. I didn't say that. I'm just saying I think
So
all
that's
of
my
those guys
point, though. But
hugely
for
improve United.
this to work, like they need to be like I don't see a 4-2-3-1 even with the squad they have now. I don't see it working.
It was very similar. 4-2-3-1 is what they played with Ten Hag, and
Oh,
it didn't work.
Well,
It
just
didn't
and a
work.
lot of it is the
Yeah,
personnel for me because
it
if
is.
what Grant wants isn't to kick Bruno out of the 8 or that double
let him
pivot role,
cook.
then who are you playing in the double pivot? You're playing
It-
Ugarte and fucking Casemiro, or you're
okay,
playing
let's
Mainu and Casemiro,
I honestly
let's
or
think
you're
you could try
playing
Casemiro, Mainu, Bruno. I think it worked 2 years ago, but
it worked.
worked.
There's the kicker. There's the kicker. It worked 2 years ago when Casemiro was just recently out of Real Madrid. And that's honestly where I keep having the issues. And I heard Bruno talk about it a little bit, which
how's
was,
Mainu
look,
not playing, right?
I'm good on the ball. I can dictate tempo. It's not like my main suit, but I can do it to a very high level. And Bruno has proven that he can do that this season. The issue is games like this where it becomes hero ball. That's the worst side of Bruno. And Bruno will always go the extra mile. And if you were to move Bruno into the left 10, let's just say that's the position that he would go
Yeah.
to. The ball does not get to Bruno Fernandes because he's not winning aerial duels. That's why
See, like,
Cunha was brought in. And that's why it doesn't work.
but that's my whole thing. Like the fact that we're talking about Bruno left 10, right 10. Bruno needs to be the 10, right? He like the fact that we have to
It-
shoehorn him into a spot because Amorim's system in a perfect world, it's very, very important that it's very tactically written in stone, right? You have two guys in the half space, you have two guys holding width, you have one striker running the channels, you have your double
That's
pivot,
not
you have your three. Like that's what this system is super reliant on. And I think that's very anti-Bruno.
I feel like last year that was the case. But this year, I've seen Brian and Bumo play all across the front line. I've seen Mateus Cunha play all across the front line in games. In games. Like they have swapped sides. They've gone in the middle. They've picked up the ball deep. They've done all that stuff. So I don't think it's that structured when it comes to those players. But when this game in particular, the players that came off the bench, Mount, Dalot, Kobe Mano. Now I'm going to read you the rest of the subs bench.
Oh, I read it.
Bindier, Heaven, Martinez, Malasia, Ugarte, and Shane Lacey. Look, I want to see
Malasia?
Shane. Yeah, Malasia.
Nice.
That is where United are at with the current construction of the squad.
Yep,
And
I saw the
we talked
subs
about this.
because I saw
This
the
is very
subs. I was like,
similar
"Are
to
you
Mila's
kidding me?
save
He didn't."
point.
Yeah,
I was like, "He didn't make
that's
5
exactly
subs.
what I was
He's
gonna
What
say,
crazy."
sub
Dylan.
was he
I looked
supposed to
at it.
make?
I could totally
Yep.
picture Amorim just going, this isn't working.
Shit.
Oh, let me go bring in the
I'm
16-year-old
gonna keep trying
for his
this.
first
Look,
debut.
you guys are right. It's not all his fault on the day like that. I can definitely concede, but I still think big picture, right?
No.
What we've seen over the course of a year, it's not enough for me.
Look, and that's
I
totally
just
fine.
think
That's fair.
it's very like positive thinking to say, oh, we're gonna sack this guy, and then a better guy's gonna want to come manage the club. Like anyone with a brain can see that this team is not built for success. Like if you're gonna walk in there, you're gonna have a tough fucking time.
I still
And this
think they're
guy
capable
said,
of qualifying
I'm gonna have a
Champions
tough
League.
time. It's gonna
I
be
still
tough,
think they are
and
right
I'm
now.
gonna
You guys thought that
go
too.
do it.
I still
Yeah,
think they
I
are
think
right
they-
now.
They lost
I'll
There's
one
three.
game.
They're
We
3
lost
points
one
off of
game
it.
1-0 to a
That's the
very
thing.
good Everton team this year
Yes,
who has
it's
a
not the end of
lot
the
of
world.
heart. So I do think this is being blown out of proportion. Granted, I did not watch the whole game, and I do not care about United.
Oh, bro, I didn't watch any of the game.
So it's
this
like,
is how I feel about this team, and
I
the
know,
fact that
but
they get this result gives me the
Yes.
opportunity.
Look,
I
Pickford made a
guess,
couple
but
of
this is not
ridiculous saves in
this is
this as
not
well.
the
Fantastic.
Wolves beating United analogy that I think Dylan was alluding to earlier.
Yes,
in
I
the
would
last
agree with
one.
that.
Like, yes, that probably is still coming, but Everton are not a fucking relegation team this year. They are so different. Man down, not a man down. They have heart every game, and they have players that can just fucking rip it out of nowhere, and that's what happened. And then they
Moyes has
have
never
the
beat
ability to
them
lock
at
up.
Old Trafford as an opposing manager. Like, I think to your point, yes, Everton are a tough team to beat, but I still think with a red card 10 minutes in the game, you need to be better than that.
What the
No,
bro,
100%.
What
Everyone
teams
needs
have
to be
Moyes
better.
had? And look at the I don't like that stat at
European
all.
champions who at West Ham. That's what he had.
They needed to be better.
My
And
point exactly.
yeah. They needed to be better. United sucked on the day. It's deflating. And that's why we have these conversations every single time. For me
So I can
personally, the reason that I use the Wolves analogy is because it's just the mentality of you're going to have super lows and you're going to have super highs. This was another super low. And for United, I need to see mentally that these guys, after having a defeat like this, can bounce back. Can they bounce back? Because if they cannot, there's either two things wrong. One, the players aren't fit, or two, they don't believe in the manager, and one of those things has to give at some point. I think there's a potential that they both give at the end of the season. But if we do the same thing, this is a year, right? We're at a year of Amorim. If we do this same thing again, where they sack him right now, or they sack him in
Going back to
January,
square one.
we're going right back to the same process. Leave it to the summer. If that's the case, we have a full 2-year sample size. It's not good enough. They don't get anything. Then we can get there. Then
I'm with it.
same
I hope they
shit,
keep them through the
bro.
summer.
Like, you're gonna have Embuemo and Cunha looking good this season. Make the decision in summer to sack Amorim. They're gonna bring some guy in, and who's to say he even likes Cunha and Embuemo? They could leave. They could be pushed out the squad. Like, you can't keep doing this. And I know it's a crazy thing to say because Pep is like the only tenured coach in the whole Premier League. Everyone else has like a 2-year tenure.
Arteta, okay.
Arteta's got 5 years. He's the
6,
next highest.
I think.
6,
Yeah,
like,
5, 6.
those two are the outliers in
Yes.
terms of
Yes.
tenure at a Premier League club. But I think that's very indicative. Look at where they're finishing in the table. These guys are building something. Year after year, they can continue to grow upwards. These other teams, they build something a year, 2 years, then they tear it fucking down, sell everyone, or just it turns to complete shit.
I think my perspective probably changes my opinion on the United situation because
that's a little different.
Exactly.
Though, but you guys
I've seen get rid of them and it immediately
but
fixes
that's
the problem.
why. No, but you got rid of 3-4 guys.
I'm just talking historically.
You guys got rid
in general.
No. There's a big
you guys got rid of
difference
4
between Chelsea.
guys in a row before you got the
They
right
had
guy.
they had guys
Like,
in that team to where you could change manager and they can still work with it. I agree, but
how long ago did the Clear Lake project start?
After 21-22.
So that's a 5. We are at a 5-year project for Clear Lake.
3.
We are in 3. So wait, I think
this is their 4th season.
This is their 4th season. United with Ineos are in what
they're
year?
just trying to do them, bro.
So that's, I think, to Milo's point. Like, you guys,
we bottomed out.
Slow down.
You guys scrapped it, and then if ever built it to this point, I think United need to do something similar. That's what
I'm just so happy. Speaking about it being the 100th subscriber special, I did say it before Ten Hag even got sacked. You were getting the Potter year. I didn't think you'd have the whole arc, but is this your Pochettino year? I don't know. If it is, you're going to be upset.
United are just have given me a 13 drama season of just hell, and I'm waiting for the redemption arc at some point. I'm just hoping it happens relatively soon because I might lose my mind.
Sure.
By the 500th subscribers.